Yeah, you need something? All of us here thank you for everything you've done. For us, for the wastes. We pulled together and got you this. It's the best we could do. Please take it. With our thanks. Bless you.
Well, how do you feel? Well, I could hardly be an impartial observer in that case now, could I? It'd ruin the validity of the entire experiment. Besides, you wouldn't shoot me now, would you? How about I just leave you alone for a bit? What's up? Anything interesting out there in the wild wasteland? Well, how do you feel? Oh, I know it does, dear, but it's for a good cause. Try not to squirm so much while I take notes. Now, how would you describe the pain you're feeling? Any advice for how to keep it from being overwhelming? And remember, this is for posterity. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. And it does help when you're sewing up wounds and setting bones, too. That seems like it'd be tough to do alone. Luckily, I'm here to patch you up. Now, hold still and quit fidgeting. Ugh! How can you be walking around like this? Okay, I even stitched a little smiley face in you to keep up your spirits. It's kind of hard to see from your side, though. Here, take this environment suit of mine. It will help with medical tasks, and it should help prevent the effects of exposure, too. There's a sort of mole rat repellent I've developed. I need it to be tested on a few mole rats before I can say it's a success. There's a lot we don't know about mirelurks and how intelligent and dangerous they are. That definitely deserves research. And that should be it for the second chapter. Which do you want to check out? Mole rats can burrow into almost anything and cause a lot of trouble. So I figured I'd make a chemical repellent stick for people to shoo them off. But I need it to be tested before I put the recipe to paper in the guide. So I need you to find some mole rats and test it out a bit. Don't worry about the chemicals. I handled them all the time while experimenting, and I'm perfectly fine, aren't I? How about I let you have the leftover chems I used to make it? Heck, do a thorough job, and maybe I'll let you keep the repellent itself. It'll be easy. One tap with the applicator, and it overwhelms their senses with a sort of feel-bad sensation. Then they're gone before you know it. You could test it out on just a few mole ratties, but for real testing, try it on 10 or more. There should be plenty in the tepid sewers downtown. Have fun out there, okay?
Can I do for you, Daddy-O?
Good evening, sir. What can I do for you? I'm sorry, sir. My condensation collectors need time to fully recharge before I can continue to dispense any more beverages. If there's anything you require further, feel free to ask, sir. Good morning, sir. What can I do for you? I'm sorry. You have yourself a fine day, sir.
All of us here thank you for everything you've done. For us, for the wastes. We pulled together and got you this. It's the best we could do. Please take it. With our thanks. Bless you.
What are you looking at, boy?
look at this. We got us a wanderer all the way out here in Wilm's Wharf. You must got some important business out here to be wandering around, but 'tain't none of my beeswax what you're doing. But if you're interested in trading, maybe we can help each other. My boys are hunting lurks. Finest meat you could get, but he don't move around in your stomach like mole rat does. Right dangerous, those things. Just as soon take your head off as look at you. Watch yourself out here. They're all over. Some fellas came out here a while ago that said they was looking for some do-gooder that came out from one of them vaults. I told them I ain't seen nobody like that and sent them on their way. They might still be around here, though, if you think you can help them. Always good to hear. Let's see what you got. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Only a fucking coward hides. There you are, you little bastard. Kick it! Will you just stand still?
Yeah? Everything has its price. Take a look and make me an offer. Thanks. Yeah, see you.
I'm alive. I can't believe it. I'm alive. Here, I managed to hide this stuff before they tied me up. You take it. It's the best I can do to thank you. You're right, it's dangerous out here. I have to go before more of them come. Please, please help me. I need water. I'm dying. You mean you don't want anything for it? I don't have any caps or anything. I can just have it. I can just have it for free? Thank you. Thank you so much. You saved my life. Bless you. Please go. So thirsty.
Welcome to Rivet City. Please wait while the bridge extends.
Hold it right there. State your business in Rivet City. Yeah? Let me guess. No, she's not expecting you. But it's really important, and you need to see her right away. Been a lot of that going around lately, and I've had just about enough of it. So you're going to have to do better than that. Older guy, in his 50s or so? I remember him. He left already, but Dr. Lee might know more. All right, you can go on up. She'll be in the science lab. Just don't cause any trouble, or else you're gonna answer to me. Carry on, then. Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Yeah, Bill's going to have to replace some tape.
The Mirelurks have been quiet lately.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, that's James. My own little troublemaking brat. I'd sell him to you if they'd let me. Unless you've got any more personal questions, I'm busy.
Can assist me. For the most advanced scientific center in the capital wasteland, I find your...
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake. The technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, hmm? But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire? To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property. How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off. You're helping me retrieve this android, aren't you? I've tracked him this far. He's out there somewhere, in the capital wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it. Of course! I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends. Excellent! Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that. Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically. Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings. Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life. Wipe away all memory, all guilt. Trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story. By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now? This particular android, designation A321, is different, special, the most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. But A321? It will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable. The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished. Of course you do.
One of the new immigrants died.
That's close enough. Keep your hands where I can see them. Then go.
Died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here? You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke with me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same. You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. I see. So you decided to leave one of the safest places in the wasteland, even though it was in your best interest to stay. Sounds familiar. Well, I'm afraid your father is no longer here. Well, I don't know where he is. The last I knew, he was going back to the old lab. Now will you kindly leave? I have work to do. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told your father. Don't go. Whatever's left there, it isn't worth it anymore. The project was abandoned. We gave up. There's no reason to go back. Fine. Suit yourself. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building northwest of here, along the river. I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. As I said, I am sorry. I'm afraid I can't go back and change the past. Okay. Good luck finding your father.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history. Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection. In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence. Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think? Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives. In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you. Remember, treat the document with care. It's a fragile piece of our history. Oh, look at the time. I better go get something to eat.
Any trouble in this area?
Nothing I'd contact security for.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any? It's locked for a reason. Don't get any ideas.
This here is Flack and Shrapnel's gun shop. Pretty catchy, huh? Take a look around. If you see anything you like, I'll be right over here. Need to do some killing, eh? If you need more ammo, this is where to get it. Decided to check out the... Give me a shout if you need anything else. If you need more ammo, this is where to get it.
Closing time.
Hello, Seagrave. You shouldn't waste your time with Vera.
That was bad.
You can do better
I'm sure
than her.
they'll do something about it.
A man can hope, Danvers. Besides, I don't have a problem with the upper deck like you do.
If you see anything suspicious, be sure to tell the security officer.
What are you looking at?
Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service. Oh, the mere 120 caps. Excellent. Simply venture into the hallway, turn left, first door on your left. That is your room. Or is that the broom closet? I always get those two mixed up. Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
I'm off to work.
It was so noisy last night. I could hardly sleep.
Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
I heard that
Yeah.
the
I'll try that.
council was defeated.
Bell's gonna have to replace some
What are
tapes.
you looking at?
Well, I hope they do
I'm
something.
sure she'll just
Remember that
scrounge
child
some
that fell
from
off
the lower
deck
deck.
last year?
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure we'll do something about it.
Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Mr. Buckingham.
Yeah, Belle's going to have to replace some tables and chairs.
I'm sure she'll just scrounge some from the lower deck.
There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday. The gate guard said the gunfire went on for over an hour.
One of the new immigrants died.
That's
of
why I'm
radiation
glad I'm in
poisoning
here. Good old Rivet
Yeah, I heard
City.
she was drinking Rivet.
Me too.
The
Nothing
ship's
is
water
getting
isn't
through
much
these
better.
walls.
If we don't get fresh
Saint-
water...
I am Father Clifford of St. Monica's Church. She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come. It's a sad state of affairs, but the people that live on those two decks don't trust each other. The hangar deck folk believe the upper deck people are keeping them down. The upper deck citizens believe the hangar deck people aren't capable of managing Rivet City. Saint Monica bless you.
Soon, we'll all end
Morning.
like her.
You don't look hurt. What can I do for you? That old story? Well, now, I haven't heard talk of that in quite some time. It was all just a rumor, a hoax, someone's idea of a practical joke. Story was there was an android, escaped from the Commonwealth up north, from someplace called the Institute. There was a holotape that got circulated. I think I've got a copy of it. Yeah, here it is. Give it a listen. That's a man's voice. Hoax for sure. Like I said, it's a hoax. Don't bother with it. Someone sent tapes like that to pretty much every doctor in the wasteland. None of us believed it. Sure thing. Here's what I have. A pleasure doing business with you. Take care of yourself.
I'm... looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?